Alright guys, welcome back to another video here at Car Dude Garage. Today what we're going to do is go ahead and work on getting a lot of the stuff out of the engine bay that we don't need in here. I want to remove this here, get these lines out and everything. Go ahead and get the AC condenser out the car, move the battery stuff, remove all this cable, some AC lines, get this mount off, that mount off. The power steering lines, like I was saying, all these hoses off the firewall, just as much as I can, out the way, so we can go ahead and start prepping to clean and paint this bay. Like removing the battery, get some of these hoses off, and this power steering stuff. Alright guys, so I got battery tray out, these lines off of it, the ground cable for the battery stuff that was to the chassis, got those lines off. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this mount off and that mount off now. Alright guys, so we got this mount off, that mount's out. Now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is go ahead and start getting the AC condenser out, which mainly is just a whole bunch of 10 mils. So you want to get this off. Before you can get this off, you got to get the condenser back. There's a 10 mil here, a 10 mil here. Lean it back, you can get this 10 mil right there. You got to get this 10 mil off here, and then there's back in here another 10 mil. Once the condensers move back, you get this off. Go ahead and get that all off real quick. Alright guys, so got the AC lines all out, got the AC condenser out. Right here's the AC condenser. We got the AC lines here. Now I guess keep pulling stuff off. Pull some more of this wiring out the way, so I can just throw it over the side. And the fuse box needs to come out too. So I'm just gonna keep on tearing stuff apart and updating you guys as we go. Alright guys, so power steering stuff's out. Got a couple more little things out. I'm gonna go grab some lunch because I'm fat. So grab some food and we'll be back and we'll get some more work done on this car. Alright guys, so pretty much got all the wiring I can out and over. Got to get inside to do all that. Get all this here stripped down as much as I can. So what I'm gonna try and do now is get the wheels back on it, try and lower it so we can get ahead and clean all this nasty ass gunk here off. This shit is all disgusting. Yuck. Alright guys, so as you can see, I got the exhaust completely off the car. I tried shooting it with the I was using some brake clean on a couple of spots to see if it'll clean up a little bit. So I texted a buddy of mine to see if he has a pressure washer and a hose I can borrow. So I'm waiting for him to reply and see if I can use it and if he can bring it by. Yeah, she has a unit right there, so that'll be a good help. And then we can put the wheels on this, put it on the ground, and pressure wash this whole bay. Get it all looking clean, boy. And then after that's all done, we can start, dressing it, like sanding it, getting it all clean and ready to get painted. Cause this thing is dirty, yeah. Alright, so my buddy came through. Got some water hose and some stuff over there, some degreaser stuff. Got his old Chevy truck right there, I'm gonna do some work on that soon. We're going from TBI to carb on that. I'll make a video of doing that. Right now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and put the wheels on the Accord, lower it down, and move it. Alright guys, so we got the car moved. We're going to go ahead and start pressure washing all this stuff now. I'm going to connect this hose and get to spraying. She a dirty girl. Alright guys, so everything's all pressure washed, nice and clean. I'm gonna go ahead and push it back in the bay and let it dry. Alright guys, so we got everything all pressure washed, looking real good. Nice and clean, Alright guys, so it's all dried up. What I'm gonna go ahead and do now is we're gonna headlights off, fenders off, and then all these little tab stuff like this, we're gonna remove all that and then just move the wires out of the way. I'm not painting subframes or none of that right now, just the bay. So we're gonna paint all the bay stuff, like behind the fenders, the lights, all that stuff. And then the wiring, I can move around the stuff that's going to be painted. Let it dry up. So, but I think it'll look good with the paint theme that we're going to go with. So we'll go ahead and get these fenders and lights off and get to it. Alright guys, so this fender's off, the lights off, everything is off. I got all the little rubber stuff here, the hood thing here for the hood latch. Yeah. Just gonna go ahead and start sanding everything down, and once it's all scuffed up, we'll go ahead and start showing you guys what we're gonna use for paint. Alright guys, so we got it all scuffed up, all through here, all this, all in here, all through here, just everything. So yeah, I'm gonna shut that fan off there, and then we're gonna start laying some paint down. Alright guys, this is the color I'm gonna go with for the bay. It's a metallic gold. It's a paint and primer, so I gotta prime nothing. So this is the color right here that we're gonna paint the bay. So shake them up and lay some paint. Alright guys, so there it is. It's all painted. Keep in mind, this is not a show quality build. This is a track car build, and this right here I'm happy with. There's not really any mess ups, I don't think. There was a couple of spots like right there. But other than that, there's no runs anywhere else or anything like that. You know, we got full coverage everywhere. You know, came out really good. I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit, and then we're gonna shoot the clear coat. Alright guys, so I went ahead and shot some clear over it all. So I think it came out really good. So I'm happy with this. Like I said, it's by any means, this is not a professional paint job. Obviously, we use spray cans and everything, but this looked better than what it did. It's one solid color, and it's a track car, so I just wanted to look a little better than what it did. So this right here, I'm happy with. Tomorrow we're gonna come here, do some more stuff to it. So just keep liking these videos, keep subscribing, keep sharing these videos, and I'm gonna keep knocking these videos out. So all you CG lovers out there, comment below what you think of this. All you Honda lovers out there, car enthusiasts, whatever you guys are, comment below and tell me what you guys think about this. We're actually building the Accord like I've always wanted to do. Alright guys, so we're back the next day. The bay came out really good. I promise you guys, it looks better in person than it does on camera, I'm sure. Like you can see the real shine in it and all the flakes from the metallic and everything. It looks really good. There's a couple of spots that when it dried up I didn't like, or dirt got on or something, like right in here. I'm trying to get out of your shadow. Right in here, see all that? Right in here. Well, I mean, look at that. You can see all the flakes and stuff in it from the metallic. But like I said, it doesn't have to be show car quality. It is just a track car / street car, so I'm happy with this. We're gonna do now, sander here with some sandpaper. I'm gonna get more. And we're just gonna start sanding the whole car down. Alright guys, so I got sandpaper, got my sander right here. We're just gonna go ahead and start sanding down as much as we can of the car. And that's really what this video is gonna consist of. We're gonna sand it down, and then we're gonna talk about options of swaps and color that we're gonna be doing the car. So let's get some sanding and get some body work done on this thing, because we're not sleeping. Smash that like button. Let's get to work. Enjoy this time lapse. guys, so up here I started sanding it down to metal. I was gonna sand the whole car down to this, but I decided not to. There's too much work to get it down like this because I really wanted to like get fresh like primer and everything on this. I mean, I'm not a body guy or body man by any means at all, so I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. I'm just a guy with a sander in a car that I want to look better. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue sanding on this car as much as I can. Alright guys, so I got this door done, all the bottom part, all this section here done. So that I do from about a little bit more down in here, and pretty much from like this gas cap area over more in this whole quarter section. I guess I'm just gonna keep on going, just giving you guys a little update. We added again the Accord. What I'm gonna do now is I want to go ahead and move the car out some, and we're gonna go ahead and start working on this back area of the car. Finish sanding this little bit of quarter. I want to get the wing off, the rear bumper off, all the lights off. Trunk sanded down this part of the quarter panel, and I'm gonna sand this all here, and I'll fill these in with some welds and grind them down nice and smooth, so we can do the badge delete on it, and then just keep on going. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and push the car out, and then we'll get back to stripping it. Tail lights, wing, bumper off. You guys can see where the other clip was put on. So we're gonna address this. I'm gonna straighten all this shit out here. Get some welds in this too, all through the bottom of it, you know. And then up through here, we'll address all that. And do some work on this. Let's not waste time. Get the sanding. Alright guys, as you guys can see, we got the rest of this quarter panel done. The trunk is all sanded down, all back here is done. What I'm going to start doing now is finishing up on the roof. Just get as much of this that I can reach on the roof. Then we'll go around to the other side, start doing that side of the roof and that side of the car. So let's get to it. And like always guys, like this video and subscribe if you're new. Let's get it! Yeah, so this part of the roof is sanded down. Now I'm gonna go around, start that half, and start working on that side. This is a dirty job. I'm really pissed I didn't get my windows up, but it is what it is. So, yeah, not too shabby, nice and smooth, you know. My goal is to have this whole car in primer by the weekend. So, and it's Thursday today. Let's finish sanding this car down. Alright guys, so got the rest of the roof done. I just gotta do this part here and this trim up here. But I gotta go up to the parts store, guys, and get some more sandpaper because I'm out of sandpaper. I probably said it already, but I'm gonna say it again, and I probably will say it after this and a few more times. I hate doing body work. Yep, not for me, no, no, no. But let's head up to the parts store so we can get some sandpaper so we can finish sanding this baby down. And then after that, we'll address some more stuff that I want to do in a different video. Like, obviously he's here, I want to try and bang him down and stuff so we can put some flares on it. And I also want to weld these shut where the badge will go, the Honda symbol. We're gonna seal that up. So let's go to the parts store. Alright guys, so we're back. Got some sandpaper. I'm gonna go ahead and start sanding that passenger side and finish up on that. And then that should be it for today with this. Tomorrow I'll come back and I want to go ahead and find all like the high spots and low spots and stuff and start addressing that. I'm going to address this here, stuff like that. But let's get this on the sander and get the sanding. Alright guys, so whole roof is done. This whole side of the car is completely sanded down. Everything here, all through here. So everything is sanded down on this thing. So yeah, the whole cord is sanded down, guys. I'm gonna leave it like this for now and then come back tomorrow and we'll some more stuff done on it. I just want the whole car sanded down. What's going on? I got a few things for the next step of this car. I was doing some research and doing some review on this. It's the Harbor Freight electric spray gun. We're gonna try it out. Got some sandpaper, got some brown paper to cover the windows and stuff like that. Buddy from across had like some Bondones that we have, so we can fix some of the dents on the roof of the car. Can't really see it because how the car sanded down, but I got a can of primer. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna just mask off around this edges. We're going to just lay some primer on areas that I kind of think there was dents at. Like down here I know there's a dent. And then you'll sand over it and then you'll have your high and low spots, whatever. That's where we'll know we have to do some body work on. We're going to do that. Got the flares. We're going to be working on those soon. That's in this video, but soon. Just want to address all the dents. Do a little bit of work on this here. And then fill these in. So that is what we're going to get done in this video. How's there bird poop on this? The car's been sitting in here for a while. And then address a few little spots and dings around the whole car and see how it goes. So, stop talking. Alright guys, so I went around to areas that I knew there was dings at. Like this whole section I know was messed up. There was a ding here, this whole piece on the quarter panel that we got to address. And then right over here, there was a piece that was really bad. Got those all in primer. I'm gonna go ahead and address all those and sand those down, and then what should happen is you still see primer at is gonna be where the dent's at, whether a high spot or low spot, then we're gonna address that with the body filler. So I'm gonna go ahead and start sanding these down and then I'll show you guys how it comes out. Alright, right here, you can see the primer still in there. Probably can't see this on camera, but you see where there's two different colors? That's where my dents are at on the roof. we're gonna mix up some body filler. Do this part here, and then this part, and then we'll move along. So as you're sanding other stuff, this body filler can start drying on these, because these are the major dents. This is the biggest, and then that one. Alright, so we got the Bondo laid on right here and right there. We're gonna let this harden for a little bit, and then we'll go from there. So I'm gonna let this harden, that harden, and then we'll sand that down. Pretty much that. I'm gonna start sanding these down on the door and get some body filler on that, and then deal with this afterwards. So I'm gonna move the car forward so I can start working on that. Alright guys, so got that done. It's all bundled up. I'm gonna let that dry. We'll sand that down. You can get this a little longer because it's definitely wet. Let all this stuff dry, and then we'll get to sanding. Alright guys, so I sanded this down a little bit. Just gotta put a little more in here. And sand it down some more. I'm starting to sand on this, but this isn't completely dry, and I waited like an hour. So, I don't know, still kind of wet. So I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. I'm gonna add a little more here. And let that dry up. And then keep going. Alright guys, so I got it down up here. So you can see where the Bondo is here, here, and here. That's where there's dents up here. So might do another little light coat on just this sections here. Let it harden, and then sand that down. Then over here, I did a couple coats here. It's nice and smooth now. Can't even tell there was a ding there anymore. So, yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this with some primer. Now I'm gonna go ahead and clean this off and throw a couple light coats on that. Also went ahead and throw a little more body filler over here. So I still gotta get some more spots, but that's what I had left on this when I did another coat up there. So I'm just letting this harden up and let this harden up a little more, and then we'll go ahead and sand those down. Alright guys, so I got a little more Bondo put on here. Just waiting for that to dry up. When this dries up, we'll go ahead and sand that down. Alright guys, so we got this all sanded down nice. So I'm working on this here now. And then still let this dry up a little bit. It's still a little wet. So when this sand dries down a little bit, we'll sand this down. Well, we're getting there little by little. I'm working on this. This thing is starting to smoke. It was smoking in my hand and getting really hot. I think it's toast. I'm not gonna use that anymore. Yeah, see the smoke coming out of there? See if I can get it. Right there, you see it? Oh man. Well, there goes doing some body work for the night. Yep. To the shop. Alright, so we got the new sander. Sandpaper on it. Let's get to sanding. Alright guys, so we got that all sanded down. Got some primer over it. And then a few spots that there was metal showing. I went ahead and primed that. This is just filler and sandable primer. So I'm gonna let that dry up and see how it looks. I'm gonna go ahead and start sanding down all this right here, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, so I sanded this down some. There's a couple like high spots like right here. Right here is a high spot. So pretty much where you can see where the metal is showing when I was sanding. Right in here. And then right here there's a little crack. So I want to try and beat this down. And then put some body filler in that section. And then here I'm going to beat that down, put some body filler. And the same here. This is probably where the seam was welded, right? Yep. So that's where it was welded. So that's why it's got a high spot there. Focus camera. That's why there's a high spot here. So I'm going to go ahead and bang this with a hammer down. Bang this some. And then get some more body filler on these little sections here. Let that dry and keep going. Alright guys, so I got both those out. Sanded down. We're going to put some body filler on both of those. And then I'm going to go ahead and wipe the whole car down. And I want to go around anywhere there's metal showing. I want to shoot with some of that primer. I don't know. That'll probably be the end of this video. I'll see if I figure out anything else I want to do to it. So let's go ahead and put some body filler on that and on the other one. And then throw some primer on all these spots that are showing, like all through here I want to get. And I want to wipe the car down. Alright guys, so I went around the whole car and hit primer on everything that had metal showing. So all through here, a couple spots through here. Mainly the corners when you sand, you get the metal spots. This whole section right here is primed. Touch up the roof. And there's a couple of deep scratches that I put some body filler on. And then primed all this, like I said, all that. A couple spots on the door over there. Spot right there. A few places here. Like I said, a couple spots up here. Put some body filler on some deep scratches. And then this. Got body filler on both the holes. And then more of the primer. This video, we're finally gonna throw some primer on this thing. So I went ahead and bought primer and everything, had a spray gun, everything like that. So we can throw some primer on this. We're not be painting the fenders, we're not painting the bumpers or the hood, because I'm gonna replace all those. But we're gonna paint the body of the car, the trunk, all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna get everything set up, and then we'll get the painting and lay some primer down. Never done this before with a spray gun like this, but we're gonna make it happen. That's what we do here. So let's get to it. Before we start laying some paint on this thing, I'm gonna finish up taping the windows all around. Then we should be good. And then I'm gonna go around the car again with some paint thinner around the whole thing to get everything off it, because it's been sitting, been pushing in and out. So there's a lot of like handprints and dirt and dust and everything on the car. So we're gonna do that. And then we got a tack cloth. We'll go around the whole car with a tack cloth, and then we should be able to lay some paint down after that. All right, so I just went around the whole car with paint thinner all around it to get all the grime stuff off it. Let that sit and dry for a second. And then I got my tack cloth right here, and then we'll go around the whole car with this. And then tape everything up, try to go over it again, and then start mixing up this primer and see how this lays down. We'll see. All right guys, so everything's all taped up. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually run some lacquer over it again. And then I will use a tack cloth on it, mix up the paint, and we'll get to spraying. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and rub the whole car down with the tack cloth. And then after that, we'll mix the paint up, and we'll go from there. Hopefully this comes out good. Never done this before, but I guess we'll find out. So, this is all you. Never done this. So, I'll wipe this baby all down with this. And then move from there to mixing the paint, the primer up, and spraying the primer. So I will catch you guys back here in a minute. Well, not a minute really, like more than that, but in your time it'll be like a second, you know? And there it is. Cool. Now we have something to work with. We can throw some primer on this car. Alright guys, so the Accord's all in primer. I'm pretty stoked, I'm happy. Like I mentioned, I'm getting a different hood, fenders, and bumpers, so that's why I didn't paint those. But I got that custom bug flake paint job. As you can see, these Sun Guns out here just like to stick to the paint. But that's alright, because when it fully dries, I can just like pick them out, and then I still got to do some sanding on it and stuff, and then see how much more I need to do. My first time ever painting a primer in a car. Got quite a bit of runs here. I'm not trying to hide anything. I'm not a professional painter whatsoever. There's quite a bit of runs here. This is a water-based primer, so it's a little trickier, but needless to say, there's primer on the Accord. Told you things were gonna happen on these cars and I ain't sleeping on it. So now I'm gonna hopefully get the paint for it soon and get in paint. Last video you saw, we primed up the Accord. This video, what I'm gonna do is go around with a block, like a sanding block, and wet sand the whole car and try and get these bugs out. As you see, there's a bunch of freaking bugs in this thing. There's here, there's some runs, so I wanna try and get that all situated. Bug here. I mean, they're just literally all over, especially on the roof of the car. My plan is to wet sand it, try and get rid of where all the runs are at, the bugs in it, and depending how I feel after that, maybe we'll throw another coat of primer on it. And there's spots like under here that was hard to get with because of the mirrors on it. I really don't want to have to pull the mirrors off of it because you got to take the door panel off to do so, and it's a pain in the butt. So we'll see. But I'm gonna stop talking and get to work. Yeet. So I just wet sanded the whole trunk. So all those runs that were on it, I got as smooth as I can get them. They're pretty much not there. And then the whole upper part of the trunk as well. All this is done. With the primer laid down, I can see a lot better. I don't know if you can see it on camera. There's a ding here, a couple little dings up here, and this here. So that's a good thing about the primer. It helps you find those spots, so I can fix those. The roof, see, there's a few little dings I got to work out, but definitely just gonna keep wet sanding it for now, and then we'll go ahead and address all that other stuff. I don't think I'm gonna throw another coat of primer on it today. I'll probably honestly just be able to just wet sand it and maybe touch up some of these dents and stuff around it, let all that dry, then come back tomorrow sun and sand them down, and then throw another coat of primer on it. Stop talking, let's get to wet sanding. been wet sanding, what I went ahead and done was I got a 320 wet paper that I'm just gonna get all the runs off, and then I'll go back over it with what I was using, the sanding block, around the whole car to get it all nice and smooth. But that sanding block, it just made it too much harder and it took too much time to try and get all those runs off. And with that, it made it a lot simpler, a lot easier. So I'm gonna use that for all the runs and then go along the whole car with the block to make it all nice and smooth. And then I'm gonna try and wipe it all down, dry it up. And there's a few spots, like I said, that I want to use some glazing putty on, let that dry and stuff. And tomorrow I'll come back, sand that down, and probably throw another coat of primer on. So whole thing is done, like where all the runs are at. What I actually went ahead and did was I used the DA sander and I just sprayed it all down with water and went around the whole car. Like I said, where the runs were at. So there was quite a bit of runs, a lot more than I thought there was. But yeah, I don't know if this is how you should be doing it, I don't know. But this is how I'm gonna do it. Hopefully it works out. And then I plan on going around the whole car with the block, just to smoothen it all out. And then try and let that dry overnight, come back tomorrow. I gotta do a little more work right there. There's a couple of dings around the car that I can notice better with the primer on than I did with the black paint. Guess I'm gonna drop the camera down and get to blocking. The cord is cleaned off. Got some paint thinner here and stuff, and some acetone over somewhere right here. So I'm gonna get a rag and we're gonna go around the cord, wipe it all down and everything, mix up some paint. I'm gonna start laying some paint down on this baby. So this video will be finishing up painting the Accord. Let's go ahead and get this car wiped down and then we'll get to painting. Alright, so we got the hood done. She's cleaned up this side with the hood. I got the half, as much as I could reach on the roof pretty much. And then all through here, the back and stuff like that all wiped down. So while she's finishing up over there, I'm gonna mix up some paint. Got the spray gun right here. We're gonna mix up paint so we can go ahead and start spraying this car. Alright, paint's mixed up. We're gonna go ahead and start laying down some paint. So let's see how it comes out. I've never done this, but we're gonna lay down some paint. I'm gonna start back here.
Ready? Yep.
Alright guys, so the hood is done. All this here is done. Here's done. Majority of the roof is done. You can see all here. All this here is done. Just like this little bit up here on the roof that I didn't get to. The trunk. But yeah, I mean it's all good because once it all dries, I'm gonna have to go through it again and hit a few spots like this here because this thing fell on it. I don't have no more tape, so it's all good. I'm sure someone's gonna say on the other side how I went around all this stuff and it wasn't taped up. It's all right. I have all new trimmings and stuff going on this car. I'm not worried about it. So, but whole car pretty much in paint, but the trunk and a section right up here. Yeah, but I'm out of paint. So yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here, guys. I'm not sure how long it is until it gets edited up. But the board's in paint. I'm waiting for the fender to come in so I can get that done. And then we also have over here the lip kit and stuff. No, we got to get the plastic dip off of everything, get those primed and painted so we can get the kit painted for the car. So, hey guys, I'm gonna go home. I feel like I have paint all in my nose because I wasn't using a mask, which I should have been, but I didn't. But all right, guys. Smash that like button. We got the Accord finally painted. It's red, yes. Like I said, I'm gonna end this video here, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.